Good afternoon and welcome to the Midday News. Here's what we have in the bulletin. Just a robbery. Head of the country's crime portfolio says no evidence to say otherwise. Reactions from South Trelawney following resignation of Member of Parliament. And in sports, reggae girls and Canada to battle in Olympic qualifier this evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Kalisha Williams, and here are the details. Up first this afternoon, head of the country's crime and security portfolio, Deputy Commissioner of Police Fitz Bailey, says there's no evidence to suggest that yesterday's attack on a director of the Integrity Commission was anything other than a robbery. Mr. Bailey was speaking on Radio Jamaica's hotline with Emily Shields this morning.
The circumstances that surround that incident is very clear. He had something that the perpetrator wanted. That's money. I don't know of any other thing, any other reason. We haven't had any report of any threat against the particular individual. So we can't draw any other conclusion than what is very obvious.
The employee of the anti-corruption body was shot while in the car park of the agency's offices in New Kingston in St. Andrew. Mr. Bailey said he has directed that a senior investigator lead the probe into the incident and assured that the police will be exploiting all opportunities available to capture the perpetrators.
Say that one of the men had on hoodie and one had on a cap. But we are exploring and exploiting all the opportunities that are available. And we are again appealing to the public that if they were anyone who was in that vicinity at the time when the incident happened, they observe any motorbike, any strange person, I'm appealing to them to call the all number 811-311-119 or any other police station that they have access to.
Despite increased pressure from the parliamentary opposition to twin the removal of the monarchy and leaving the UK-based Privy Council, the government seems to be steadfast in having it done separately. Constitutional and Legal Affairs Minister Marlene Malahoo Ford says making the Caribbean Court of Justice, CCJ, Jamaica's final appellate court, is one which must be ventilated properly. She says currently there are strong opposing views.
I know that the parliamentary opposition has expressed very strong views and is calling on the government to accede to the appellate jurisdiction of the Caribbean Court of Justice. The truth is that the issue of which final court for Jamaica, and in particular for the Republic of Jamaica, is a matter on which views are divided. The concerns about access to justice are real. The concerns about the quality of justice are real. So I am looking forward to a full discussion on the issue of which final court for Jamaica.
To an earlier issue, it has been an emotional day for some constituents in South Trelawney. This following news that the MP Marissa Dalrymple-Philibert has signaled her intention to resign. Our reporter Anthony Lugg is in the area and filed this report.
Thanks, O'Shane. So we've been here in the constituency for several hours. I'm currently in Albert Town, which is considered a stronghold for the Jamaica Labour Party and MP Marissa Dalrymple-Philibert. Now, the people here on the ground I've been speaking with had a lot to say about the MP's intention to resign.
She has signaled. I'm hoping that she don't follow through. I'm hoping that she stays on, if it's even for a little while longer. Mrs. Philibert has been a tower of strength here, and one of those members of parliament that has really performed.
She's a good lady. Five-star general. She fixed the road, doing a lot of projects, water, everything in the constituency. They're the best was so far. So lose a good MP like that, we don't know where to stand again.
Now, Mrs. Dalrymple-Philibert first became MP for South Trelawney following the 2007 general election. At that time, she defeated the PNP by over 6,000 votes. Now, this news that she intends to resign may trigger a by-election, but the residents here are making one thing clear.
Labour right. No, we're not going to switch. When she gone, we're still not going to switch. All right, that's a straight green. No matter what come down, it's a heavy load, so we still can carry it across the water.
And just talk to anybody. And you hear they say mama. The word mama means, you is a mother to everybody. And they believe in you. They are somebody who then can run to with them problem. So anywhere you go, you hear people say, mama, mama, that just tells you the type of member of parliament.
Now, we will be monitoring the situation here in the constituency of South Trelawney and provide updates in subsequent newscasts. Until then, it's back to you in studio.
Thanks, Anthony. And more reactions this afternoon to the resignation of House Speaker Marissa Dalrymple-Philibert. While critics believe she should be commended for also resigning as Member of Parliament for South Trelawney, concerns about the tone of the resignation letter. That declaration was made on the morning agenda on Porus 106 this morning. On Thursday, shocking news that Marissa Dalrymple-Philibert announced her intention to resign as Speaker of the House and Member of Parliament for South Trelawney. It followed controversy surrounding her failure to include a Benz GLA 250 motor vehicle in her statutory filings from 2015 to 2021 and the Integrity Commission's decision to file criminal charges against her. Speaking on the morning agenda on Porus 106 Friday morning, Executive Director of the Jamaica Accountability Meter Portal, JAMP, Janet Calder, said Mrs. Dalrymple-Philibert has set a precedent for many politicians.
Mrs. Dalrymple-Philibert has done something I deeply believe in. I really believe that any public official, any parliamentarian who feels that the public confidence has shifted, even if you have not done wrong, I really think it is a demonstration of the value you place on the office you have, and it's a demonstration of the value you place on the need for trust.
For Ms. Calder, what is shocking, though, was her decision to resign as MP for Southern Trelawney.
I didn't think that it had passed a threshold or reached a threshold that would have required the parliamentarian to step aside as the representative for the people of South Trelawney. But it is a personal decision that she has made. She has attached to it her own values and her own beliefs, and she does believe, it seems, that the situation has put her in a position where she can't serve in the way she would like to, and she has in the past.
That aside, while there is a belief that Mrs. Dalrymple-Philibert should be commended for the move, concerns with how she phrased a section of the resignation letter. Ms. Calder argued it lacked ownership.
I also have a difficulty with the statements being made in her resignation letter that it is the report that has done damage to her reputation. I'm hearing a little bit of sidestepping the ownership of the actions of the parliamentarian herself in what I would call the acquisition, the maintenance, the use, and the disposal of the vehicle, the breaching of several regulations, which Mrs. Dalrymple-Philibert has not said, she hasn't done. I'm just saying that these are all the things that have actually created the outcome that we have today.
The Porus police in Manchester are closely monitoring Redberry and surrounding communities following a fresh bout of protests over the poor state of the roads and inadequate water supply. The residents who blocked the road say they are fed up and are demanding that the issues be addressed with urgency. Several schools were impacted by the protests. They include St. Jacob Primary and Infant, Harmons Primary and Infant, Ramble Primary and Infant, Porus High, Porus Primary and Porus Infant Schools. While the police unsuccessfully removed the roadblock, TVJ News understands that another has been mounted. They have since sought the help of the JDF to help clear the debris from the road. And it's time for a break. More stories when we come back. Welcome back to the Midday News and thanks for staying with us. It's now time for the Business Minute.
One of the world's best-selling consumer electronics brands, TCL, has joined ATSC 3.0 patent pool. This means TCL will be incorporating this emerging standard into its televisions, so consumers will be able to buy sets which receive high-quality over-the-air TV broadcasts. Deputy CEO at the RJR Gleaner Group, Dr. Claire Grant, says that is a significant announcement.
TCL signaling that they're coming on board, getting certified, and the TCL brand is, a little bit more appropriate for our market in terms of mass because of their price point. So that's a very, very exciting piece of news that we got.
In early 2022, Jamaica became the third country in the world to offer over-the-air next-generation television. The RJR Gleaner Group currently has 2 ATSC 3.0 transmitters broadcasting high-definition television signals for Television Jamaica. The UK's competition watchdog has said Microsoft's revised offer to buy the Call of Duty maker Activision Blizzard opens the door to the deal being cleared. The Competition Markets Authority said the updated deal appeared to address concerns it had raised. Under the new offer, Microsoft agreed to transfer the rights to stream Activision games from the cloud to the French video games publisher Ubisoft for 15 years. The sale to Ubisoft will mean the cloud streaming of games like Call of Duty, Overwatch, and World of Craft will not come under Microsoft's control. Its original $69 billion deal was blocked by UK regulators. And that's it for the Business Minute. I'm Prince Moore.
We now go to the top regional and international stories.
In the region, school children across Tobago have been negatively impacted by the current heat wave affecting the Twin Island Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Trinidad and Tobago Unified Teachers Association says classrooms are extremely hot and buildings are not ideal for the present climate. The Teachers Association has asked schools to monitor how they handle their break time and minimize activities outdoors. The association has blasted the Minister of Education, who has claimed that teachers are accustomed to the heat now being experienced. The Teachers Association has labeled the comments insensitive. On the international scene, the Indian Parliament has passed a bill that guarantees a third of seat for women in the lower house of Parliament and state assemblies. A total of 214 lawmakers from the upper house voted in favor of the Women's Reservation Bill. On Thursday, the upper house debated the bill and passed it unanimously. It now requires the president's signature, but analysts say that is a mere formality and the bill is tantalizingly close to becoming law. And COVID-19 hospitalizations for children are on the rise in the United States. Federal data show nearly 1,200 children were admitted to the hospital with COVID-19 during the week that ended September 9. That is a 5-fold increase over the past 3 months. About half the admissions were for children younger than 5 years old. And those are the top regional and international stories. I'm Carrie-Ann Simpson.
We head to a quick break. When we come back, Jermaine Brown will have your lunchtime sports report.